I'm Jonathan Johnson, and this is the physics of yo-yoing. This is George. Wave, George. So George wants to help me explain how yo-yoing works. So this is George, with a yo-yo. In yo-yoing, this move is called the gravity pull. Let's go over the physics of how the gravity pull works. When a yo-yo is released, gravity is acting on its center of mass. Because one end of the string is attached to the axle of the yo-yo and the other end of the string is attached to George's finger, the yo-yo begins to rotate as it drops. If the yo-yo was unable to rotate, it would not be able to fall. As the yo-yo begins to drop, its potential energy changes into kinetic energy. Now, due to the acceleration of gravity, the speed at which the yo-yo drops increases with time, and therefore the rate of rotation also increases. This speed and rotation rate are greatest when the string is completely unwound. Now, once the yo-yo reaches the end of the string, the linear momentum is converted into angular momentum. The yo-yo will continue to spin at the bottom of the string because the string is loosely looped around the axle. This is gyroscopic stability. As Newton's first law states, due to inertia, the yo-yo has a tendency to continue to spin at the end of the string until an outside force acts upon it. Now, if the yo-yo is left in this state, it will eventually stop spinning. This is because the yo-yo can't drop any farther, and it cannot build any more angular momentum. And due to friction between the axle and the string, the yo-yo will eventually come to rest. Now, if George exerts a short tug on the string, force is created between the axle and the string. The axle can no longer easily spin inside the loop at the end of the string, and when the axle encounters this resistance, the angular momentum of the yo-yo causes the string to wind around the axle. This causes the yo-yo to climb back up the string until it reaches the hand of the operator. As the yo-yo climbs up the string, the angular momentum of the yo-yo is reconverted into gravitational potential energy. Therefore, the speed and rotation rate of the yo-yo decreases as the yo-yo climbs back up, coming to a halt when it reaches George's hand. Here we see George performing the forward pass and the around-the-world loop tricks. The forward pass is where George throws the yo-yo out and forward as opposed to down, as in the gravity pull. From there we see him flick up the yo-yo and cause it to move in a large circle around his body. This is known as the around-the-world loop trick. Now the physics behind this is that as the yo-yo is released forward, its linear momentum grows as the yo-yo unravels, and then once it hits the end of the string, it proceeds to change all of its linear momentum into angular momentum in the sleep form as before. Now, when George jerks the yo-yo up, it transforms all the now angular momentum into angular momentum in the direction of a counterclockwise circle around George's body. At the end of this loop, George reinstitutes the friction in the axle, and the yo-yo returns to his hand. This video featured George the stick figure and Jonathan Johnson's voice. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let it be known that there were no stick figures